Well, a hearty good morning to you for a Tuesday, a rainy Tuesday morning here in Lagos. How you doing?
It's nice and cool, nice and chill because of the fact that the rain has cooled down everywhere, but it also means the roads will be a little bit slick, so make sure you drive carefully if you're about to step out of the house.
Yes, indeed. You guys tuned into the right place for the right kind of energy to start your Tuesdays. After all, we do know that Tuesdays are Mondays because you've pushed all the work up until Tuesday. I say this all the time because I'm trying to get it into the culture. It is true. You guys know you do that now, don't you? But not to worry. We're here to make it even out all through the week.
The most productive day of the week in some cases,
Okay.
but especially when it's the last day of the month.
Oh, it is Halloween now, isn't it?
Excuse me.
I knew we weren't going to go there.
Payday. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about payday.
Well,
it's the day you get paid.
For most people,
At
this is
least.
an exciting time every single month, especially with the economy the way it is. But hey, save a little something for me, please, why don't you? It's all good. Listen, we're not alone here. Let's move over to the kitchen where we have the delectable Auntie Mary.
Auntie what?
Mary.
Hi, Mary.
How you doing? Good morning. It's also World Magic Day.
There we go.
So if you know a few magic tricks, like how to put food in your mouth and still not have a mouthful when talking, you could teach me. I'd like to know.
Okay.
By the way, thank you for sharing your sandwich with me, Mary. That was fantastic. It was. Please save some more, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Alrighty then.
Listen, guys, thank you guys for joining us. You perhaps are seeing us already on GOTV channel 16, or maybe it's UHF channel 49. It could be StarTimes 121. We want to say thank you. We appreciate the fact that you're there.
My name is Titilayo Oyinson.
My name is Mazino Appeal.
You can, of course, watch the show live via our mobile app as well. And that's available for iOS and, of course, Google Play Store. So once you download it, we're in the palm of your hand.
The hashtag is Wakeupnigeria on TVC, and of course, across all media platforms, social media platforms, we are at TVC Connect. So make sure you're following. If you aren't,
What are you waiting for? So Tuesdays, we have conversations with the parents.
Ah, yes.
On Parenting Today, we have Jane A., a career mom and convener of Fab Mom NG, a motherhood, parenting, and lifestyle resource site for millennial moms like me.
No.
It's been growing over the years, and it's grown to become one of Nigeria's foremost parenting platforms for parents, stakeholders, and so much more. Esther Kehinde Ojo, popularly known as Iya Jesu, is a devoted worshiper of God. Now, she is an ordained deaconess, and she has been amazing music minister for quite a while. She'll be performing very soon.
Odunola is a medical doctor and social entrepreneur with cogent experience in advocacy, teamwork, and also strategic planning. Now, she's a TEDx speaker with years of experience in advocacy and also health media and communication. And we will be talking and also perhaps having a very interesting conversation with her on cervical cancer and all you should know about HPV vaccination.
And finally, we're joined by seasoned musician, television icon, Ben Ogbewi. And the list of his achievements goes on and on and on. He was the voice for West African Idols, music facilitator for Nokia First Chance, presenter Celebrity Takes Two, narrator Ultimate Search Season 5, head of music. You know what? It goes on and on and on. But I'm just going to say Kakadu or Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, or, you know what, let me stop there.
I have to go back outside and say good morning, sir, because a very pristine gentleman outside said to me, "How are you?" And I said, "Fine," and I walked past. So I'm coming back out there, sir.
And he's punctual as well.
Very.
He's going to be here talking about his journey so far and what he's up to now.
And then, of course, you have me here. You know?
Oh, yeah.
You're important too. What's your problem?
So you probably noticed that my poise was extra today. My voice, I was trying to be a little deeper and more pronounced in my words because Uncle Ben is in the building.
Oh, yeah.
He's done a lot.
was
Voiceovers, music,
Yeah,
everything.
amazing.
A coach and all. That's grand. It's good to have him here.
Yeah.
Okay, so the big talk right now is the Ballon d'Or.
Ballon d'Or.
Yes,
And the
indeed.
amazing part of it is that Messi, his name has been changed. You see the E in his name has now been turned to 8.
Wow.
But the 8 is like this.
Wow.
I'm trying to remember the name of the symbol that is like this. So
It's
that's
infinity.
infinity.
Yeah, the infinity
So
keeps going.
Messi 8 Ballon d'Ors. Can you believe?
Congratulations, Lionel Messi, on your
Yeah.
8th Ballon d'Or.
Well, who else were you expecting, actually?
Well, there were actually folks that believed that, okay, Erling Haaland might win it because of his exploits this year. But for some weird reason, the first, he was actually second. He was second, actually. And then the 2 winners of the Ballon d'Or, male and female, were World Cup winners.
Okay.
So
fantastic.
I guess one could say that was actually something that
Determining
helped,
factor.
yes.
Okay.
So we have, let me take a look at some of them.
I was
so we have,
just interested in the Mbappe story. And I know you're still trying to find the list.
No, I already
there. Oh,
have
you got it?
So
Okay.
Aitana Bonmati, won Ballon d'Or for the ladies. And then we have Jude Bellingham winning Copa Trophy for Best Young Player. We have Vinicius Jr. winning Socrates Awards for Emiliano, as well as Emiliano Martinez winning Best Men's Goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I hear Martinez, I'm actually always feeling, I don't know whether it's weird, I don't know, because he used to be with Arsenal.
What was that thing about
It was the second choice.
What was that thing about Vinicius and his efforts when it came to
Racism.
Racism.
fight against racism?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So because Socrates Award is usually given for stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have Barcelona winning Women's Club Award. And unsurprisingly, Manchester City winning Men's Award.
Wow, okay, all right.
And then, of
Congratulations.
course,
We have
Haaland won Gerd Muller Trophy for Best Goal Scorer.
Before
so he didn't lose that.
we wrap up, we have a Nigerian on this list now. You've not...
Yes, so we have a Nigerian on the list. Now, he didn't win the Ballon d'Or, but he's in the top 10.
Yes, so...
Can you guess who?
No, tell
who
us,
else?
please.
Victor Osimhen.
Congratulations,
Victor
our
Osimhen
very
is
own.
actually number 8 for Napoli and Nigeria, and I find that fantastic. Would have been clapping for Bukayo Saka. He's number 24, so he's in the top 30. But of course, he goes Arsenal and England.
But
so,
that is in the world. That is in the world of...
Yes.
That's a lot.
Victor Osimhen is number
That's
8 in
amazing.
the world.
That's
like, no joke.
So
Number 8 in the
so
world.
this
Nigerians
is
know
the
they carry
top.
last.
This is the top award for football.
Yeah.
When it comes, I mean, worldwide.
Yeah, international.
What's that going to do for the players, for the team, or for the players, and especially for the team?
Do you know what it would do for Inter Miami?
What's it
gonna do?
Messi's win.
Yeah.
It's a plus for them in many ways.
Hang on, that's the Barbie. That's the one
Merchandise
with the Ken dolls and the
Wow,
Barbies playing.
really? They wear pink. Yes, they wear pink. But I think...
No, it
I
didn't.
think it's amazing that football has gone way beyond Europe.
Yes.
And, of course, South America, because South America had a hold on it for a long time as well. But, yeah, congratulations to all the winners.
Especially to us.
Yeah.
It's all good. Well, hey, this is how we say our welcome. Congratulations and then welcome. You're welcome. It's time for the news. My name is Mazino Appeal. Now we begin in Abuja, where the ruling All Progressive Congress is asking the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar to accept its defeat from the February 25th presidential election. This latest call is contained in a statement by APC National Publicity Secretary Felix Morka, who described Mr. Atiku's speech during his press conference earlier yesterday as, a quote here, a long-winded, incoherent and preposterous, unbefitting of a former vice president. End of quote. The statement adds that it is delusional for Mr. Atiku to have expected the courts to rely on their bogus, flimsy, and unverifiable, uncorroborated, illogical, and hearsay evidence to upturn an election that was conducted in substantial compliance with the Constitution and electoral laws. The party asked him to stop denying and disrespecting the collective will of Nigerians, disparage the judiciary, and incite rage. Now, the Lagos state government says it will sustain the relationship with the German government for more developments in the state. Now, Deputy Governor Obafemi Hamzat spoke shortly after taking the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz on tour of the John Randall Center for Yoruba Culture and History yesterday. The gathering is part of activities of the German Chancellor's official visits to Nigeria. Senior correspondent Adedoja Salam Adeni was there.
The John Randall Center for Yoruba Culture and History, located in Onikon, Lagos, has undergone transformations to become a new kind of museum. The state deputy governor, Obafemi Hamzat, is here to welcome an august visitor for a tour of the center. The tour took them to various sections of the center, showcasing Yoruba artifacts, masquerades from different parts, unique fashion, and literature. He expressed the desire of the state government to use the visit to strengthen ties with the German government for more development in areas like technology and energy.
Part of our discussion is how do we collaborate more? And there are so many things that they are probably not aware of. Like, say, for example, the number of technical schools that we have. And now, you know, we are having the blue and the red line. There must be an academy where people are trained, but they also need gas, and Nigeria has a lot of gas. We're also looking at areas where we can benefit from that solar in terms of training, in terms of testing.
The Deputy Governor said the visit was prompted by the desire of the German Chancellor to know more about Nigeria and its people.
So the Chancellor was also asking us about the culture and how it influenced us as Nigerians. And that's why we said, oh, come and see our museum, telling him about our history, our beliefs, and how that has shaped our development as a state.
This visit by the German Chancellor would open the door for more, as the John Randall Center for Yoruba Culture and History is poised to become cultural and tourist hub of Lagos. Adedoja Solamadini, TVC News, Lagos.
Outside Nigeria, as Israel continues to demand the release of the 239 hostages held in Gaza by Hamas, the militant group has released a video claiming to show 3 of the women it captured on 7th of October. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has condemned the video, describing it as cruel psychological propaganda. The 3 women, identified by PM Netanyahu as Yelena Trupanov, Danielle Adloni, and also Rimon Kirst, were sitting side by side against a bare wall, with one of them addressing an angry message to the Prime Minister. She accused Mr. Netanyahu of failing to protect Israel's citizens during the deadly Hamas attack and failing to get them back home. As PM Netanyahu pledges to make every effort to bring the hostages home, Israel's chief military spokesperson says troops are pushing deeper into the Gaza Strip. A female Israeli soldier has been freed from captivity in Gaza, according to the Israeli military. He says military operations in the region will escalate. You stay tuned, we've got more coming your way. And you are welcome. It's time for What's Up and About, and today we have a very specific topic, something we were talking about from earlier today. Let's talk phobias, but one kind of phobia in particular. I think it's called trypanophobia, the fear of injections.
The fear of injections.
Getting injections. I don't know about you.
Saying it, I'm imagining it's stiffening again.
Oh, yeah, because
the injection is not even next to you.
I definitely have that phobia.
Yeah.
It's not like borderline type, but I just don't like injections. The idea of something penetrating into your body is not something that I really
Like
not
titty,
the show. Not the show.
No, seriously.
So, no, but women have to, even if you have that kind of fear, women have to get over it when they get married, don't they?
I think there's so many. No, you did not.
Like, you went there.
Okay.
But
there's so many things to consider when it comes to injections form.
The first ever nurse that gave you an injection probably formed the way you see or feel injections for the rest of your life.
I think so. I think I even with my daughter, like when we go to the hospitals, I leave the nursing room.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't handle it?
I can't handle
I
it.
don't understand.
Her fear infects me.
But you're her hero.
I know. So
Key fire, injection.
One out of many times I've had to go back in there to really hold her, but it took a lot. I just don't like. Don't like it. But it's a valid fear. A colleague right here in the office tells a story about how when he was 8, he had an injection, had an abscess.
Abscess. Oh, okay.
And could not walk for a year.
Yeah.
Oh,
and that was
Right now, he's strutting his stuff all over the place. All the girls like, they didn't know he could not walk with it.
Remember so that we can reduce the...
Wow.
But he couldn't walk for a year. How do you get that kind of an illness from a simple knee?
The nurse.
It's the nerves.
Yes.
The nerves.
How it is actually injected. People
Yes.
don't know. There are certain places that injections have to be put into. You don't just put it into the bum. And that's why when people try to do it themselves, they don't realize that there's a reason you have to talk to a medical professional. You need to have a medical professional do it for you. Because if you go and put it in your artery, now you sabi you're on your own.
Wow.
So I keep so sorry. I wanted to just give a little backstory as to why this conversation started for me. First of all, there was a video online of some medical professionals, I think some doctors, some nurses, with balloons. And injecting needles into balloons.
Blown up balloons.
Blown up balloons.
Yeah, and it's an art.
And
I never knew it was
exactly.
an art. Apparently, you can actually inject a balloon without bursting.
Without bursting it. And
So it was
those are the
impressive to
guys
see.
that you need in the hospital to give you an injection because you won't feel it.
You will know what?
Those
You
are the
won't
guys.
feel it.
I
No.
draw the line of guy. I don't know. I only
Come
prefer
on
nurses,
now.
female nurses.
Dr. Maria Sinoni. But you know, talking about fear, you know, fear is something that encompasses so many things.
Yeah.
We could talk about fear of injections. We could also talk about the recent growing fear of humans, so to speak.
Fear of people.
Fear of people,
Where are
especially
you
people
going?
that you're supposed to trust. And that issue is something that is becoming worrisome.
Check out that
Recently, we've
fear.
been
But
having...
that's a genuine fear. though.
Yeah, that's a genuine fear now.
Fear
You know,
of-
when we were younger, your parents could leave you in the care of somebody, or just a neighbor, they're fine, everything is okay. Now, to even leave your child, sometimes with a family member, is
Yeah.
scary. Because so many things are happening. The most prominent, about 4 incidences, we have Killer Boy and Okoligwe,
Yeah.
what they did to their girlfriends.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, we have Baba Ijesha, who, you know, is currently incarcerated for what he did to his colleague's daughter.
Has been castrated.
And then, I did not say castrated, I said
Oh,
incarcerated.
sorry, forgive me.
Ha, Alakuba. And then, of
Wouldn't
course,
he deserve it?
and then, of course, the most recent, Dr. Olaleye, with his wife's niece, like the most unlikely scenario possible.
So sadly, it's not the most unlikely. It is actually the most likely.
Exactly.
True that, though.
Especially
Because
Yeah, true that.
the people that are closest to the young people are those who are in their space enough to gain their trust.
Yes.
And, you know, so it means that we need to start educating our kids on
Here's
things
the
like
thing.
not sitting on people's laps,
Yeah.
not going into people's spaces.
But in Britain, I think in the 90s, there was a campaign that tried to stop parents from telling, because you know this thing where you tell your kids stranger danger?
Danger, yeah.
It's actually wrong. Because they discovered that strangers weren't the ones who were harming the young
The children.
It was always someone they knew.
It was
Yeah.
people that you
Well,
knew.
not always, mostly.
It was mostly people
Yeah.
that you knew. So they had to change that orientation from stranger danger to, I mean, hey, be very aware of your own self.
Yeah.
You told a story about how you make sure that your daughters are
Yeah.
very aware of
Very aware.
what do you call it?
Personal space. If you can, you know, spread your arms right around you,
You have a right
and
to
touch
that space.
someone, that means that person is in your personal space. And you have a right to tell the person to step back.
And you know something? Random crimes are actually very rare. In the sense that even those who eventually hurt people, they do their research. So somebody in the neighborhood can even identify because they've probably seen them, you know, looking at that place, scouting, trying to see. So it's always a case of someone who is
called
well aware of who you are.
Yeah, yeah.
It's always a case of that.
Yeah.
And so I find it worrisome that, you know, people now are afraid to even trust somebody. If you can't trust anyone, how do you get by?
There's a word for the fear, by the way, fear of humans. It's called anthrophobia.
Anthrophobia.
Anthrophobia. And there is a case of a man, I think in Nigeria here, was on social media only just last week, Friday. He had been locked at home,
Wow.
a very shanty home, for 75 years or so.
Oh, goodness.
He has a fear specifically of women.
Locked at home.
Anthropophobia, I just been called anthropophobia.
Wait, locked at home.
At home.
Yeah.
It was his. It was his decision. He does not want to. He said
doesn't want to have
women make
contact
him-
with women.
Women make him uneasy, make him scared.
There must have been a
What is
backstory to that.
anthropophobia?
Yeah.
A fear of humans, like a case of danger, or just fear of
No, just fear of human. I think it's
Generally, yeah.
It's closer to crowds. People in large. Oh, goodness
fear
me.
of being
We're
judged by
getting.
people and the rest. Okay. Well, at the end of the day, I believe it's about time for parents to make some hard choices. It's difficult these days to put or entrust your children into anybody's care. So when you see somebody who is willing to take a back seat in their career, be it the man or the woman,
Yeah.
it's about time for people to encourage them. This whole thing of stay-at-home moms or stay-at-home dads and how people say, oh, you're useless, you're this.
It's perhaps
Believe
maybe
me,
even the
You
best.
actually
It's
need.
even the best at the end of the day. If you go abroad, for example, so many people are relocating now. You see that one partner usually has to spend more time with the children because the money you say you want to go and make, guess what?
You can't spend
If
it on
not
nanny.
70 of it, 90% of it will go to a nanny. You can't ask yourself, what's the point of working in the first instance?
Oh goodness. me.
So we just need to like do the best we can to protect ourselves. Is the best we can do, because at the end of the day, what will happen will happen. Murphy's law.
We have, I don't believe in that. I am not of the law, I am of the Lord.
Okay,
but you know
I am
what?
of the Lord as well.
I am really interested in knowing what you think. Your thoughts on this particular topic are interesting, of course, to us, especially the middle part. I don't know. That nurse, do you remember her name? What was the name of that nurse?
We never know their names, it's safe so. Tell us what you think. Use the hashtag Wakeupnigeria on TVC. That's it for what's up and about. We've got more inside of the...
Can you feel that?
What are you doing?
Can you feel that?
don't
Nothing.
understand What's she doing?
I'm not doing anything.
don't
Please, let's
understand.
take a break.
Back. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
And you're welcome. It's time for the dailies now. Let's let you guys know exactly what to expect when it comes to the papers that you will be perhaps picking up this morning. Of course, I have Titi here with me. Titi, thank you for joining.
You are so welcome. There's a lot to talk about on the covers of the dailies this morning.
Yes, indeed. I'm going to be starting with the Punch newspaper. And front and center for the Punch newspaper, we have these headlines. I'll circle back to it, by the way. Retire now, presidency tells Atiku. Ex-VP rubbishes Supreme Court's judgment. Apex Court legitimizes illegality. Atiku insists, urges INEC to verify credentials. And Atiku's presidential ambition doomed. Ex-VP desperate, say APC presidency. At the bottom of the page, under the photo story for the Punch, Rivers Assembly in crisis as Wike's loyalists move to impeach Fubara. There's more. Ohanese Soludo mourn as legal icon Nwabweze dies at 94, and Taraba government mourns 100 boat accident victims, orders probe. At the top for the Punch, Tinubu canvasses 2 trillion naira discos recapitalization tariff review, and FG approves 2.2 trillion naira supplementary budget. 70 corpses, skeletons uncovered near Abia cattle market, say the government on page 7. That was worrying to see on social media yesterday. We might revisit that on another paper headline. But going to the presidency and the issue with the ex-VP and rubbishing the Supreme Court judgment, is it about time? It's been 30 years that Atiku's been vying for the presidency, and many would say that perhaps maybe it's okay, take a back seat on this. It's the not fury. Let me not use the word fury, but the fervor of which he's going about this.
Fervor, yeah, that's the word.
Which is, thank you very much. The present instance that's really beginning to irritate the APC and the disregard for the Supreme Court.
So nobody is saying, you know, people shouldn't have a dream. And fighting for that dream, no matter how hard you want to fight. And some people are saying, you know what, fight as hard as you can. But there does come a time where the people around you are probably giving you some advice, probably, giving you good counsel, and then those people stop listening. When is it time to start listening to the, different voices?
Yeah, different voices.
Different voices.
What paper do you have?
We have The Guardian with us here, and it says here, licenses of 17 discos, Gencos due for renewal or revocation November 1st. Now, the logos are all right there on the cover of The Guardian. Page 6 has a lot more on that. I have a feeling that story is going to be an interesting read. Crisis in Rivers as Assembly splits. Get 2 speakers, moves to impeach Fubara. UBA records 115% growth. PBT rises by 263% to 502.1 billion naira. Price of rice increases by 60.59% in 1 year as transport fares rise by 117.29%. Now, I think I should just pause on that one. And
as
ask,
a homekeeper,
homemaker, I guess that's the term.
Yes.
When you think about the price of rice being a staple food, not just for Nigeria, around the world, and something that we can actually produce here in the country, it does feel extremely troubling as to how hard it is for a family to even just consume a cup of rice these days. I know of some families who literally go to the store and buy a cup of rice every day in order to just cook for their families.
We are experiencing the highest food inflation instance in Nigeria currently.
Yeah.
However, there are arguments that we are not at the worst of it because other countries, especially even here in Africa, Ghana, for instance, are experiencing even worse than we are. May God not let us see it like Lebanon ever did, because
Amen
that
to that.
is an extreme case. It's not something that you wanna see. I'm gonna move on now to the Nation news.
I'm still an advocate for home farms, by the way.
Yeah, Titi's still on this.
I've always been on this home farm thing, and it's been working for me in terms of vegetables.
Dear.
I've mentioned this, so I don't buy ewedu or okra or what's it called again? This ugu. I don't buy it anymore. I grow it, and I just pluck it from my garden now. So I'm reducing.
You don't
costs.
live. You've got the environment for it. Not everybody can afford to.
This is balcony farming. This is inside buckets. It's easy.
You know how luxurious you live.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
The Nation newspaper has these headlines. Rivers quakes as governor gets impeachment notice. It goes on, Assembly split into two factions. Sacks CJ. Fabura fires Wike's loyalist, says, I can't be impeached. There's more on that. FEC okays 2.17 trillion naira 2023 budget, and Nigeria, Germany signed $700 billion liberation pact. Hang on, my phone's a bit iffy here. Yes. And then at the very bottom of the page for the Nation newspaper, we have this here. Saudi hospital to separate Kano conjoined twins. Aimida, that's the
Ayedi Tower.
Ayedi Tower.
No,
Ayedatiwa,
sorry.
Ayedatiwa, rather, back in court. Thanks for the correction. Did you hear the story about the conjoined twins in Kano? Now, they're conjoined at the chest, and they apparently share vital organs. It was very relieving to see that the Saudi Arabian hospital offered that they were going to help with this case. As a scientist, personally, I'm very curious to see what would happen, because this is a very critical type of Siamese instance where they share organs, and it's going to be a very delicate surgery if they go through with it. I think they are about, if not already, to be flied out of the country. But we will.
Thankfully, in the interest of science and the interest of learning medical science, students need to see these surgeries happen. So it is also a plus for them being able to teach, young doctors.
Home.
Yes.
And also bring it back home.
Exactly.
Daily Times, real quick. We've got this one here. Cop shot at me, says the River State Governor Fubara. He tells smoking gulfs, or rather tear gas him, smoking gulfs, State Assembly axis. Lawmakers serve Fubara impeachment notice. Clark fingers Wike as Tinubu to discipline ministers. There's more on the Daily Times. We'll come back to that story. Atiku claims Supreme Court legalized illegalities, fears for democracy. And at the bottom of the Daily Times, FECO case decision on supplementary budget of 2.2 trillion for defense security. Teenage robbers on the rise in Delta State. Senate uncovers payment of an approved 14 billion naira salary increment in the Mint. Let's talk River State. The issue from yesterday, tear gas, getting shot at, plenty that he had to say, the Governor Fubara. There's also the story about how split the Assembly is in the fire that actually engulfed parts of the
National Assembly.
The National Assembly.
Yeah. Or House of Assembly, right?
House of Assembly. There's so much going on, and it would seem that these are, if you would permit what people are saying, a bit on the personal side of things when it comes to who governs the state after Wike, who's currently the FCT minister.
Yeah.
They claim, the claims are that he still has a hand in the governance with loyalists in places, and these loyalists are also responsible for the impeachment notice that has been served to the present government. It's a messy situation. And you want
I do believe
what else is suffering when the governance of a state is at the eye of such a storm.
So there is a lot, those that come from Port Harcourt or from River State. Well, I say Port Harcourt because, that's
the icon.
Now, people that come from there often say it is a different kind of space. And you have to be, in quotes, a different type of person to be able to run that kind of space. You have to be one of them. You have to understand their language, how they think. And in truth, no matter who sits at the top, the people are always likely going to lean towards the person that they, understand the most, the person that they identify with the most. And so I guess it remains to be seen where this is going. and who exactly is running things. But the truth is, I just feel like we have so much more access to information these days, and it makes it seem different, like there's something different happening. I feel like this is something that's always happened.
Doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it, you know.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
No excuses for what's happening. Well, thank you very much for staying with us through the papers. I wonder what's happening inside of the kitchen. Mary, would you tell us what we're having for breakfast? Apart from the sandwich you served me this morning, thank you very much once again. What are we having for breakfast?
You don't want to go there.
Huh?
That sandwich. Okay. All right, you're welcome to the kitchen this morning on Wake Up Nigeria. Breakfast is going to be prepared by Chef Buketti.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good.
She has refused to stop. I don't know. Just say hi to us.
Good morning.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yes.
So, Chef, yeah,
It's nice to be on the show again.
it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Chef Buketti, what is for breakfast?
All right, this morning I'll be preparing potato corned beef.
Potato corned beef.
Yes, with vegetable egg and fish sauce.
Oh, wow, that sounds very exciting. The ingredients are currently on your screen in case you want to quickly scribble them down. Corned beef potatoes with vegetable egg and fish sauce. Sounds like a mouthful. We can't wait to have it in our mouths as well. So, Chef Buketti, let's talk about the ingredients. What are we making use of?
All right. Here I have blended pepper.
Fresh pepper.
Yeah.
What's in there?
It's just tomatoes.
Just
and
tomatoes
pepper,
and
fresh pepper. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Eggs, vegetable oil, seasoning, fish for the sauce.
What fish is this?
This is Titus.
Titus, okay.
You can use any fish of your choice,
Okay.
but I'm using Titus this morning.
Okay,
Onions,
okay,
spring onions,
okay,
cooking butter,
okay,
curry, salt,
okay.
ball peppers, the corned beef, and the Irish potato.
Okay, and of course carrots.
Yes.
So there's actually a red bell pepper, okay? So here
Yeah.
it is. It's been cut up already, in case you're wondering. So the red bell pepper is there. Could I have that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the red. So this is how you cut it when you want to make your vegetable egg, okay? So the green is there, the red is there, the yellow is there. Is there a reason you're using more of red, though?
No,
It doesn't matter. You just want the
I can still cut more.
Okay.
More of the green and the red.
Okay.
It's usually very good if you have blend of the colors.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
great. All right, so run us through the process. What are we going to be doing?
All right, first I'm going to boil my Irish potato.
Okay,
So after it is boiled for like 75% cooked.
Okay.
If it's 75% cooked, you remove it, remove the water, allow it to steam by itself,
Okay.
because we are still going to cut into pieces.
okay.
Yes,
Why can't we cut it into pieces first before boiling it? Would it matter?
No, because we don't want it to mash together. Oh, we want it to come, beautiful in the plate when you are plating.
So it's best
So-
to just cook it to almost done.
Yes.
Then cut it up to the
Cut,
desired shapes.
yes.
Then do the mixture.
Yes, yes,
okay, so that's for the potatoes.
Yes.
What about the egg? The vegetable egg. How do we do that?
We fry the egg using the bell peppers.
Okay.
So you mix the bell peppers with the egg.
Okay, and then
So
you fry
that is why we call it vegetable eggs.
egg. Okay, so you're
Yeah.
just going to season it, right? That's for the eggs.
Season with the bell peppers.
Are we
and
putting
fry.
onions in it?
Yes,
A bit
of
onions,
course.
okay.
Yeah.
So now, how do we then make the the corned beef sauce? How do we make that?
So the menu is actually corned beef potato.
Corned beef potato.
So the corned beef and potato goes together.
So the corned beef isn't going into the sauce. It's the fish that is going into the sauce. That's why it's fish sauce.
Yes.
So the corned beef.
It's going into the potato.
So when we cut this up
yeah.
into, we dice it up.
Yeah.
How then does the corned beef figure in it?
When I
Are we going
dice
to
it,
stir fry?
we'll stir fry the
Potatoes, okay?
After stir frying the potato, you remove it from the pot.
Okay.
Then you now put the corned beef
Okay.
in the pot.
Okay.
Fry it, there's a bit of oil
Oh, yes, it comes
in
with
the
its
corned
own...
beef. So you fry it. When it is fried, you now mix it with the corned beef.
Oh, so that's it?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, okay. So that's how we get the corned beef potatoes.
Potatoes,
So for
yeah.
the sauce, we're going to fry the sauce.
We fry the sauce.
Okay.
We fry the pepper.
Okay,
The fish goes into the
okay,
pepper
okay,
for the sauce.
okay.
And the vegetables.
Okay.
The vegetables, the carrots, the cabbage,
Yeah.
and the bell peppers
Okay.
goes into the
Okay, okay. All right. So the carrots are still going to be cut up, diced like this to add to it. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? You know exactly how this cooking is going to go. So if you have some of these ingredients, you might want to join us and cook along, and then we'll see whether we'll have the same results. Amen. Let's take this break. You're watching Wake Up Nigeria. We'll be back in the kitchen soon so you can see more of what the preparation process is like. All right? Just stay with us. We'll be back in a bit.
Welcome back. You're still watching Wake Up Nigeria. Now, as a parent myself, yes, we're all looking forward to when the midterm break was going to wrap up. Because if for some reason it's just so long now, it's a whole week, goodness me, what's going on? But we get it. The children need rest. They need a break from that school. But how big of a break do they actually need? Do they need to break away completely from that school? That's the conversation today. We have Jane A., a career mom, convener of Fab Mom NG, a motherhood, parenting, and lifestyle resource site for millennial moms like me. Should make me your,
Yes, I should.
We have been having her on the show for the past month, and it's been amazing so far. Today's topic is when to change your child's school, knowing when.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Jane A.
Thank you, Titi. Good morning.
How do we know when it's time to change our child's school? That is a very important question.
It is. I'll say the number one thing. Most times your guts,
Okay.
your instincts just tells you something is wrong. Let's say in the morning, you're preparing your child for school, and your child repeatedly says he or she does not want to go to school, or is sad, or is happier a day before, and on school morning, the child just is sad consistently, and maybe you've gone to school, you've talked, you ruled out cases of bullying. Your child just does not want to go to school.
Okay.
Maybe you've had conversations with the teachers, and you just realize that something is off.
About the school.
And then you just know it's time to pull your child out of the school. Then sometimes if you realize that your child's grades are just regressing despite efforts like maybe having an additional tutor, or conversing with the teacher, or just going through their curriculum, your child isn't just improving, then something is wrong. And again, one thing we also tend to overlook is when you go to the school, have conversations with the school owner or the teacher, and you just realize that there's a disconnect. Some schools are not open to parental feedback.
True.
Some schools don't even allow parents, some parents come into school, just come in at any time.
Yeah.
I know you're not supposed to go into your child's school,
Yeah.
but there should be that open door policy. At least the parents should be able to at least get into the front desk and have conversations, because sometimes you just want to speak with someone. So if there's that breakdown or that division or that wall, then you know something is wrong.
So different schools have different styles and
Yeah.
different methods of teaching.
Yeah.
And education is not just about being in the classroom.
Yeah.
It's about the surroundings.
Everything.
The teachers as well.
Yeah.
And I actually have a personal story.
Okay.
Because there was a particular one of the twins that was a little more enthusiastic about going to school than the other. So I knew that it wasn't exactly the school as such, as at that time, it was more of the teacher. And we were able to address that. But then somewhere down the line, that teacher started teaching the other child, that's my other twin, and then a similar reaction happened.
Were they in different classes?
They were in, yes.
Okay.
They often split twins because of, the effect that the distraction that they can have on each other. So at that point, we were just assuming that maybe it was just the child being lazy or maybe just not being, interested in the class and stuff like that. And I feel like a lot of parents often blame their kids for their
behavior.
Yes, for their behavior and how they're doing in their grades.
I totally agree with you. And I like the fact that you were really hands-on, because if you weren't, or if you aren't, you wouldn't have noticed the change when the other child when the teacher had to take the other child.
Yeah.
So again, it still boils down to gut instincts and just being present. Then another reason why, another time when you know it's time to change your child's school, maybe you have to move.
Yeah.
And I always
moving house.
moving homes. I always advocate for at least the school should be close to home. I don't want to knock parents, but sometimes when I'm on Third Mainland and I see school buses, and then on the school bus you see that the school is maybe somewhere in Mowe, and you're seeing the school bus on Third Mainland and it's a primary school, and you're seeing little children sleeping in the bus. I don't understand. You know, sometimes you say don't go there because it might be insensitive. People's realities are different. But I mean, ideally, if we can, let's enroll our kids in schools that are closer home or closer to the location of the person who will do the pick-up or the drop-off. Then, of course, sometimes you know it's time to change the child's school. If your fortunes change, for the better or for the worse. Of course, if your fortunes change, we all want something better, a higher standard, so you know it's time to move. Or if your fortunes dip, you know you can't conveniently pay the school fees, then you know it's time to move that child.
I want to backtrack to this distance from home thing.
Yes.
I think it's so important.
Very
because
important.
Especially the early morning pickup for the school bus, for instance. You know, there was a time that a school bus, this was years ago, so I don't do school bus anymore, but they were saying they wanted to pick up the children at 6 a.m. And class starts at 8
a.m.
So that for 2 hours, either for a whole hour, they're on the road doing pickups, and then for another hour, they're in class, you know, or just, you know, loafing around in school before school starts. I didn't understand that. That concept.
Yes.
And I was just thinking, you know, yes, as you said, we have to be sensitive to people's
Realities,
situations, their realities.
But at the same time, we should also pay attention to the child's health. And also the school driver, school bus driver. If a school bus driver comes to your home at 6 a.m. to pick your child, it means that, give or take, he should have woken up at 4 or 5. And you know, those people, he may live very far away, so it means he hasn't even slept. So it's even a danger entrusting your child or your kids in the hands of a driver who is overworked, sleep deprived. And then your child is sleeping all the way from 6 a.m. Because if school bus has to come at 6 a.m., it means your child should wake up at least 5 a.m. or 5:30. What time does that child sleep?
Has the child even had breakfast
Has the child had breakfast at that time?
Wow.
It's just a lot. I know these days mothers and fathers have to work extra hard to put food on the table. But at the same time, let's also make little sacrifices for the kids. You know.
I wanted to ask, is bullying really a reason to change a child's school?
Oh, yes. So bullying, it could be bullying from peers. And, you know, it could also be bullying from teachers. It's very underrated. Some teachers bully kids, especially kids who don't really know how to express themselves or kids who are very assertive. And then imagine a child who is very young, cannot really speak very well, and then you, the mother, is saying that, and the teacher is saying, your child is lying. No. Look at other children. Are they not smiling? Do I look wicked? And then you'll be confused. And then for a child who is older and very assertive, you know, such kids will have some power, some tussle clashes with the teachers because they are assertive. They are not rude. They are just bold and assertive.
And confident.
And confident.
So having a confident child who's willing to speak up might be
a problem.
The key. It might be also be the key to figuring out, you know, if the school is the right place for the child.
Oh, yes.
But Jane A, it's always a pleasure having you in the building. Yeah, better. She has 3 kids. She looks good. But it's always great to hear your opinions as well on this topic. Do you understand the reasons why it's best to change your child's school? You should tell us. Use the hashtag Wakeupnigeria on TVC. At this point, let's take a quick break after the kitchen.
When you said a quick break after the kitchen, I was just saying to myself, Titi preparing our own triplets, you know, twins. We're talking about change and advancement. So from twins to triplets, Abby? Is that what we are doing, Titi?
Well, you never know. You never know.
You never know, indeed. All right, welcome back to the kitchen. We've got Chef Buketi hard at work making us breakfast. And breakfast this morning is actually a mouthful. Okay, so I'm going to start from the fact that we're having corned beef potatoes with vegetable eggs and a fish sauce. The ingredients are currently on your screen, so you might want to scribble down stuff you may have missed earlier, okay? So yes, Chef Buketi. So far, so good. I see you're busy with the hot oil there. You put something in the oil, curry.
Yes.
I have never tried that. What's the purpose of that? Curry even before onions?
Yes.
How? Why?
It brings out the aroma. That's just the secret. When you add your curry to your sauce, sometimes you don't get it. But once you do this, immediately you serve your food, people perceive the aroma.
Aroma, wow. So I'm more used to onions, ginger, garlic for such. So are you suggesting that the best time to put...
Can you perceive something?
Yes, the aroma is actually quite strong of the curry.
Yeah.
So the best time to put your spice itself might be even with the hot oil.
Yeah.
See, we learn every day.
Even when you are cooking jollof rice, it's better to put your spice inside the oil.
Before you fry the pepper.
When your jollof rice is out, everybody will start perceiving the aroma everywhere.
I have learned a new one. Now go here, Hey, wow. I had no idea. This is actually fantastic. Because I was actually very curious as to why you put the curry first. Most people will tell you, okay, you have to create the aroma by putting the onions, ginger, garlic.
Chef with their style, though.
Well, true that. I can't wait to see the end result of this. So that's for the fish sauce, actually, okay?
Yeah.
So oil, curry, onions.
Yes.
You allow the onions to fry a bit,
pepper,
and then the blended pepper.
Yes, to turn brown a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, and then the potatoes, they are showing themselves too.
Yeah,
Say
almost
no tea
ready.
sauce, almost ready. Because you said it mustn't be too soft.
Yes.
Because you're still going to dice it up.
Still going to dice it.
Yes, so it goes with the corned beef. Okay, so now we're going to prep the eggs so you can see exactly how we're going to do that. But at what point are we putting in the fish? Is it when the sauce is cooked?
When the sauce is almost fried.
When it's almost fried, we'll add the fish. Now, what seasoning are we putting into the sauce, just in case we do not have enough time?
I've added curry.
Yeah.
So just Maggi and salt.
Okay, so just seasoning cubes.
The seasoning cube and salt.
And salt. So that suffices.
Yes,
Okay, okay. All right, so let's see what goes into the eggs, seasoning-wise. So how many eggs are we? All of them?
Because of the way I want to play the food, I won't like to put all the egg together. I want to fry it one.
Okay, by batch by batch.
Yes,
okay,
batch
so
by
is it
batch.
two eggs or?
For now, I will do two.
Two. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So we're doing eggs by batches.
Okay.
Because of the plating, so that we can achieve maybe a particular shape. We don't know what is going through Chef Buketi's mind right now, but we're enjoying it. We are liking it. Oh my gosh, the aroma of that sauce. My goodness, it feels like curry sauce. Because that's like the only thing I can actually perceive right now. The curry
you have
is
to
so
be careful,
strong.
though. Don't put a lot of it.
I was actually going to say so because
Just
the curry
small.
aroma is strong, yet she puts...
But with the small quantity, you perceive the aroma.
Yeah, because you put just about this spoonful was what you put, and the aroma is very strong. This is a great way to utilize your spices, to maximize them in your meals. Okay, so we're going to get the eggs ready as well, put in the vegetables, right? And then season. What are you seasoning it with?
No, just the salt only.
Just salt with the vegetables.
Because the other seasoning is going into the vegetable. And you have to be mindful.
Not to over-season.
Yes,
okay.
Because egg, you don't need too much seasoning.
Exactly. I don't put salt in my eggs even. That's the way I like my eggs plain. All right, at this point, we've come to the top of the hour, the first hour that is. We still have 45 minutes on the other side of the hour. Now, I need you to stay with us. You're watching Wake Up Nigeria. Whatever you do, stick right here. Stick right here. You want to see the end result of this.
Well, thank you very much for staying with us, and thank you for letting us into your living rooms. I assume that's where you're watching from, or maybe your tabs or your mobile devices. Thank you very much. It's the best of family entertainment for every single weekday morning.
And we do what we can to make sure you have some unforgettable memories with us, and we have them together right here on this exciting Tuesday edition of Wake Up Nigeria.
That is what it is, an exciting Tuesday. We will have you tapping your feet, singing along and dancing in no time. Just trust us, just hang in there because we've got quite a performance for you guys.
Yeah.
Every single second here has been specifically curated just for you, and I mean you specifically, that one person. We're the one audience. No, we're not. We're plenty. Everyone.
Well, hopefully we remain the right dose of what the doctors prescribe for this Tuesday just for you. And if not, just add a cup of coffee or tea or something else to make sure it's all well-rounded. My name is Titilayo Oyinsan.
My name is Mazina Appeal, and since it's a very cold morning, you might as well just snuggle up, get cozy and everything. If you're not going to work, if you're not going out there to hustle, it's all good. Remember, you can use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria. Where were you going?
You said snuggle up and I was afraid. All right. Just checking.
Hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC across all our social media platforms is what you should use. Please be a part of the best breakfast show on Nigerian television.
You can, of course, watch us from absolutely anywhere across the world. Our mobile app is always available for you to download. And if you don't have it yet, what are you waiting for? Google Play, iOS, no matter what you use, we're right there, no stress.
GOTV Channel 16, thank you for watching. Or Channel 49 on UHF, it's 121 on StarTimes. We know you're out there.
Yeah?
We know you're out there.
That is actually a line from a show.
It's
some kind of alien show.
It's nostalgic. It's from when we were kids. They were
Mazino, get there.
I'll remember. You keep going.
Yeah. Well, let's tell everyone what we still have left on the show. It's
the Mysterons. Sorry.
I have
the Mysterons. That's what it was called.
We have an
Esther Kehinde Ojo, popularly known as Iya Jesu. She's a devoted worshiper of God. She's an ordained deaconess as well. And she will be here to perform for us a very beautiful musical piece. I just can't wait.
Odunola is a medical doctor and social entrepreneur with cogent experience in advocacy, teamwork, and strategic planning. She's a TEDx speaker with years of experience in advocacy, health, media, and communications. Today, we're talking about beating cervical cancer and what you need to know about the HPV vaccination.
And we will finally be joined by seasoned musician and television icon Ben Ogbewi. And also the list of his achievements go on like a rap sheet, trust me. He is a voice-over actor, a voice coach, and for West African Idol, by the way, you remember that one? Mm-hmm. He's also a music facilitator for Nokia's First Chance, presenter, Celebrity Takes Two, narrator. He's all of them.
Yeah, everything.
He was also on The Ultimate Search, Season 5, head of music Project Fame. Should I go on?
Yeah, exactly. Well, the one I remember the most is his performance in Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. That's the performance I remember the most.
We'll get to talk to him about all of that today when he joins us.
Yeah.
Time for us to talk health on Wake Up Nigeria this beautiful morning. Now, with me is Odunola Olabinto. She's going to be telling us something very interesting, especially for people who have always wondered about cervical cancer, the need to get vaccinated, the importance of vaccination. Actually, so many things we're going to talk about this morning. Now, just so you know, she is a medical doctor and social entrepreneur with cogent experiences in advocacy, teamwork, and strategic planning. She's a TEDx speaker with years of experience in advocacy and health, media, and communication. She'll be talking about beating cervical cancer and all you should know about the HPV vaccination. It's such a pleasure to have you here with us.
Thank you. Good morning. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Good morning, indeed. Okay, so, Odunola, I'm very curious about everything that has to do with cervical cancer. Growing up, yes, we knew it was one of the cancers, but the buzz about it, the publicity about it lately has been a whole lot more than, years ago. What is it about cervical cancer? Why is it so, in quotes, scary?
Okay, so cervical cancer is the second commonest cause of death in women in Nigeria. So after breast cancer, you have cervical cancer. Globally, after breast cancer, there's lung cancer for causes of deaths, cancer-related deaths in women. So it will be breast cancer, lung cancer, and then cervical cancer globally. But in Nigeria, it's breast cancer and then cervical cancer. And why I think there should be proper buzz about it is that cervical cancer is highly preventable. Right? It's a cancer that if you catch it early, at least the survival rate in 5 years is about 90%. So if you catch it early, the treatment is there and it could as well as be cured, right? But if you catch it too late, maybe stage 3 or stage 4, it's very fatal. That means that the person is most likely going to die in the short term. But if you catch it early, like the survival rate is good. So I think that's why there should be proper buzz about it, because it is a very preventable cancer and it's also because it's like a huge number of deaths. So the statistics, recent statistics says that over 12,000 Nigerian women have cervical cancer and 8,000 of them will die as a result of cervical cancer in the same year. So that's why it's important that we keep talking about it. It's a disease of huge public health concern.
So how do you get checked for cervical cancer? You know, I know there's a particular age that when you reach the... Before we talk about even checking, let's talk about that age limit. So you can get vaccinated for cervical cancer between 9 and 14.
Yeah.
However, when you're over 26, getting vaccinated for cervical cancer is not such a good idea. Why is that?
So for the age rather, where cervical cancer vaccine is recommended, 9 to 14, is because it's prior sexual exposure, really. So we estimate that at that age, the adolescents and children should not have started having sex. Thereby, they would not be exposed to human papilloma virus, HPV, which causes cervical cancer. So if you're above 14 and above, your sexual exposure might have changed. But up to 26, you can still get vaccinated. But above 27, it's just recommended that you get pap smear done. So we'll talk about cervical cancer prevention or treatment in stages. There's primary prevention. Primary prevention is getting vaccinated, 9 to 14, then to 26. But by the time you're over 27, secondary prevention will come into play. You can get a pap smear done. Pap smear is a test where cells are taken from the cervix and tested to see if there are cancerous changes. So if you do a pap smear, it's recommended that you start at the age of 21. If you do a pap smear, 21 to 29. If you do a pap smear test and it's negative, your healthcare professional will recommend that you repeat the test every 3 years. And if there's nothing, by the time you're 30, they will not start testing for the virus itself. So they will do an human papilloma virus test. Okay. And this is for women. Let me just be clear. So pap smear and HPV test is for women. There's no test to test for the virus in men yet. So by the time you're 30, they will do both HPV and pap smear. So if both are still negative and there's nothing going on, then they will recommend the test every 5 years. And by the time you're 65, there's no point testing anymore, because at that point, it's assumed that you don't have the virus or the changes anymore. So there's something for everyone at different stages, but sexual exposure is a huge contributor.
You talk about sexual exposure. It also brings me to something. You know, this is me talking from a layman's point of view. We have older people who are still unexposed to sexual intercourse. So let's say, for example, you have a 35-year-old or a 38-year-old who hasn't. Can the person still get vaccinated?
Yes.
As long as you're not exposed?
I would not say that as long as you're not exposed sexually. Age is still a factor, but if you're above 26, it doesn't mean you can't get vaccinated at all. But you have to discuss your options with your healthcare provider, right? So it doesn't mean that you're 27 and you can't get vaccinated, no. But discuss your options. Some women are at more high risk than the others. For women that have HIV, for example, their options change. Like the conversation surrounding their own vaccination will change as opposed to someone who is HIV negative, right? Yeah. So even before you get vaccinated, discuss your options with your healthcare provider so you can make the best decision for you.
So as long as you get tested regularly, you do your pap smear as needed and all, you can still get treated if if it's detected early.
Yes.
It's something that can be treated if detected early, unlike most cancers.
Yeah. No, other cancers too, if they are detected early, the chances of the prognosis is always better. Early detection saves lives. I mean, that's the slogan for almost every cancer awareness. Every early detection saves there. So in breast cancer, they will talk about, self-breast awareness and things like that. Any form of sickness, really.
Yeah. I'm saying that because I know some people that have had cancerous tumors taken out of them and still they keep having to go back to have it taken out for one reason or the other. But it's all good. Thank you so much indeed for your time, Olavinto. It's been an interesting conversation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It was such a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. All right, at this point, we'll take a quick break. When we return, Wake Up Nigeria continues. To stay with us.
And you're welcome. It's our final segment, and we, myself and Titi, are very excited about who we have here on our couch.
Yeah.
Well, of course, he's a seasoned musician and also a television icon. His name is Ben Ogbewi, and the list of his achievements, we did that from before. I don't know if I can do that again.
It's like we should ask Wikipedia.
It is long.
Voice coach, voiceover artist, actor. He was a coach for West African Idols, for Project Fame, and so many other great shows. But the thing is, we sort of we are voice actors. So whenever we meet voice actors who have been thriving over the years, it just makes us get all giddy because we know that our job is secure.
Mr. Ben, you are welcome. Good to have you here on the show.
It's good to be back here. How many years now? How many months now? Well, you were the last one who took my interview.
Yeah, it's about 2 years now, probably about 2 years.
Yes.
It's great to have you back.
Thank you so much.
It's like you're aging backwards, Oga.
Why don't you ask Mazino too?
Mazino, I mean?
We're taking the same elixir.
You drink from the same pond, maybe. I don't know.
I wish. This is the man. I passed through him at the lobby.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was Uncle Ben.
Okay.
Actually, he said, "How are you?" When somebody says, "How are you?" you should know that. I know you. How are you? And I, I'm fine. And then I guess I was in a hurry. It was only after I was like, "Hang on a second. That was Uncle Ben." So I had to go back outside to say good morning all over again.
Thank you for that.
Grand.
Thank you so much.
When it comes to reality shows in Nigeria, when it comes to voice acting, voiceovers, voice coach, your name is at the top of the list when it comes to that. I don't know if that is pressure for you, whether you feel sometimes that, I don't know how I'm carrying the world on my shoulders. How do you feel? Because it must be a lot of weight.
Let's put it this way. Nigerians are looking for excellence, and a lot of times, whilst we have those who have the air of, what's that term again? Packaging. There's also the education and the thrill of it. And we've been able to raise that bar. Right now, regrettably, we're looking for people that we can mentor, but nobody wants to go that path with us. And I am especially grateful to the fans and, of course, Nigerians and everybody across the world for the opportunity to teach what we know best. Here we are, what, 40, 30, 35 years into the business, and we're still very relevant. It means that we need to take education seriously. It's not a scam.
Nicely put. Nicely put.
So there is teaching, and then there's actually making an impact on the next generation. I know that there are quite a few people who were trained by you. Can you let us in on some of the people that we know today that...
Timi Dakolo is still there. Omaome is there.
There you go.
And of course we have Inyanya.
Ooh, okay.
We have all the others that, got that with what? The alumni of MTN Project.
Yeah.
We also have those who were on stage, who are also doing well. Most of them seek relevance in churches. But they've come out now to say, look, I can fly on my own wings.
Okay.
And we're not criticizing them for that. We're also saying, look, extend that hand of fellowship to people who are also growing under your wings. It's not about you. Light other candles as we move along. Stepping away from reality shows, we're also stepping into being hosts. You and I are voiceover artists, so are you. And of course, which has birthed what we have now. We're saying, look, let's go national. Hence, why you're seeing green.
All green. He's all green today.
Really?
I'm so jealous. I'm not only jealous of listening to you talk and that voice reverberating, it is pristine. Very jealous. But when it comes to reality show and the character you put up in these shows, you're very stern. You're very, what's the guy in Harry Potter?
Really?
Was
Snape?
Mr. Snipe.
Snape?
Yes.
Snape? Really?
That's who I see when I see you. I'm wondering.
For the sake of education, really, and if you want to remain, like I said, relevant, you have to be hard.
You have to be hard.
All that spoil the rod and spare the rod and spoil the child. Can you say this is ridiculous. Otherwise, why do you drive along where the last mile is and you want to misbehave? It's exactly the same thing.
True.
And for the sake of quality and for you to be patriotic globally, learn exactly what you're being taught so that they can respect you out there. If there's no quality in what you bring, like they used to say, if there's no foundation and you build on it, there's nothing. It will come completely down. It will crash on you. That is the reason why we're where we're at right now. But my sternness has got nothing to do with being hard on you. I'm just saying, look, pay attention to what you're meant to do. A lot of times we get distracted. I'm here to win the prize. 3 of you are here. We're here to win the prize. And all of a sudden, the female, the beautiful female, becomes the distraction. Why would I want to follow the distraction? Let me win the prize first. Then I'll come after the distraction, and the distraction basically becomes irrelevance for me, and we grow together. A lot of people do not see that. You put the cart
before the horse.
That character, though, is that the same person outside from the cameras when the cameras are turned on?
That's a good question.
You know, because I'm always like, yes, this is Uncle Ben. Be careful, be careful.
Yeah.
Is that the same person sitting down here?
This is the real person.
Yeah.
Who is the real person? Are you stern right now? Are you like
Kind, jovial, and you know, let's just be friends. But once it's time for business, we must do business.
But not a lot of people know about your background. You're a father as well, yeah?
Yes, I am.
Yeah? So I try to imagine how your kids...
Oh, they must be
how it
wearing
is
socks up
living
to
with
their knees.
Uncle Ben.
Daddy Ben.
They treat me like a stranger in the house. Once I get in, they don't take my bags. They're just sitting there. Welcome, Dad. They're watching television, and you're wondering,
They know who you are.
who are you people? I said, well, that is you on television. We know who you are. You can't deceive us here. You're calling from the other room. Where is dinner? You didn't tell us what you wanted to eat. What are you people saying?
How many kids do you have? Three kids?
18, 17, 13.
Yeah, those terrible ages where they're like, it's my dad. You're scared of my dad. It's my dad.
Yeah.
So now that we're talking family, now that we've gone into family,
Yes.
you've got a new reality show coming
It's
out.
called the Lagos Family Reality Show. What we're doing is we're getting families from the 36 states, minimum of 4. And you're competing for a prize. You stand a chance to win 50 million naira and an SUV.
Wow.
50 million
yes.
naira.
So can we still register for this?
Can we see?
Well, today is the deadline, actually.
We better.
So if you have your phones, just text LFS to 205 on an MTN line. And you will get
Okay,
in.
so
what would they be expected to do? What exercises, singing?
Family
whatever?
values, you answer
values.
questions, you basically talk about your culture, the state that you come from. You dress, for the culture. That is the vibe. You learn how to dance. You're putting a lot of reality shows into one.
Okay.
And we're testing your intellectual confidence.
Oh, okay.
That's all you're doing.
As a family?
As a family.
Will we be monitored all through? Is it like a daily
24/7 or how it
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure.
But we're staying away from your,
Yeah, other rooms.
from the other rooms.
Please.
All right,
That's a
this should be
different type of show.
You cannot pretend to be who you are. If your child misbehaves there, you will treat that child the way they're meant to be treated.
What's the reception? How are families tuning? I mean, how are they like
watching? Yeah.
Yes, I want to put myself out there like this. I'm gonna go for it. Do you have people?
Yes.
What's the word? Like, yes, I want to do this.
The
Or are
auditions
they
are
like?
coming up soon. You have what? You can have 1,000 families coming from the same state.
that's
So,
gonna be a
question
lot.
is, how bad do you want to get into this? Because we're talking about 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory.
Wow.
So
Wow.
all the families are coming together.
Criteria.
It's
Let's talk criteria for the families.
like I said, I mean, intelligence plays a lot of role. Of course, we have the Gen Zs against these Gen Ms, and of course, us who were born in the 70s, those who were born in the 60s. And you're asking, very, very trivial questions to that effect. And you're wondering, Daddy, but you didn't go to school now. How did you? So we're looking at the reality of all that.
Okay.
That's why they say when an old man sits down,
What he sees.
what he sees is not what you see as standing up.
That should be interesting.
All that works. And
So a family is a man, woman, 2 kids,
Yes.
or 3 kids, or how many?
or
more? Okay.
minimum, like I said, for
okay.
a family,
All right.
a man, a woman, and 2 kids.
All right,
Irrespective of the gender of the children.
All right.
Oh, that counts me out.
Wow.
I've only got a daughter.
Oh, well,
I'll be rooting for you.
I could borrow you a child for the show.
Hang on a minute, we can tweak that.
What?
Why not 3?
3.
Why not 3? I
Can
mean,
you take it further? Why not you? No, why
it's
not
the
me?
trident
Why not my family?
of family values.
That's the name of my family. We are the Tridents.
Wow.
Nice. Uncle Ben, thank you. I guess that means I'm in.
Yeah, wow.
Of course. But
There
today,
you go.
today is the deadline, 31st of October.
What must they do to
Text LFS to 205 from an MTN line.
All right, got you.
Okay.
All right.
It's sweet to speak English.
It's the voice. It's all in the voice. It's grand to have you here. It's good to see you. Your hair down. His hair down.
Yeah.
I'm not being stern, Uncle Ben, but
Yeah.
rather very jovial.
I'm gonna be tender on the show. I mean, as the host, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes taking care of the music. I'm also going to look at the families, the fathers and the mothers, and say, why didn't you let your child study this thing when they had the opportunity?
Okay.
They might have it hard then.
And yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Uncle Ben, listen. We have been hard at work. Well, Mary actually has been hard at work in the kitchen because we knew we had a special guest coming through, so we had to prepare something very nice for our chef. Our chef Bugatti? No, chef not Bugatti. She is going to be giving you something very grand. So let's take you over to the kitchen already, shall we?
Yes.
All right then.
What is your problem?
All right then.
Welcome to the kitchen, Uncle Ben. Great to see you again.
Thank you so much.
Today's breakfast is by Chef Bugatti.
Bugatti.
Yes, and it's a mouthful. Okay.
I can see
So tell us what we're having again. Corned beef, potatoes.
Corned beef potato with vegetable egg and fish sauce.
Yeah.
You grow eggs with vegetables?
No.
We fried the eggs with vegetables.
Okay, so next question. Why do I have this size?
Narf.
Oh, okay. Do you want to swap?
Okay, hang on a minute. The four of you are going to share that.
Yeah.
We've got more. We've got more stewing.
Yeah.
But one of these is mine.
We were trying to be
Do you
modest.
want to swap?
We were trying to be modest.
Yeah, we don't want you to, you know, many
Feel
people come for
overwhelmed.
breakfast here and they're like, I don't
I'm on
eat
a
much.
diet.
I'm on a diet.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Give it a try.
Please have a
I
taste.
have no idea what they're talking about. We want to maintain a diet. Slightly lower.
Yes, you can. Try the sauce.
Uncle Ben in the building. So what do you think?
Did you say Chef Bugatti?
Bugatti.
Bugatti. Rhymes with Bugatti.
All right.
Tastes good, doesn't it?
I think you should close the show. I ain't saying
Nah.
These are
And
kind
on
of
that
guests,
note.
like, you try everything and give feedback. So what's the feedback?
feedback is absolutely delicious. You know what?
Yeah.
See that one over there?
You're
Taking it as well.
All
Taking
right.
that as well.
Okay, a war is about to begin, so I think this is the best time for us to end the show.
Yes,
So that you will
indeed.
not see the other side of the Wake Up Nigeria presenters. Versus Uncle Ben. This one is the champion. You people know, all right? Thank you so much for
Nigeria.
watching.
Thank you.
You know me on television, we'll fight and I'll win.
It's been a grand one for a Tuesday. Thank you, everybody, for joining us in 7 a.m. We'll get to do it again for a Wednesday edition, Hump of the Week. Join us then.
Yes, indeed.
Until that time, it's goodbye from myself and everybody here.
We finally breathe.
Bye.